Welcome back to the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. It is customary that we have this annual visit that we look forward to each and every year, and that is by the Southwestern Athletic Conference head of officials, and that is none other than Mr. Eddie Kelly. How you doing today, sir?
I'm great, Mike. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir. Well, look, it's another SWAC Media Day under the belts. And, you know, we try to get a jump start so we can keep the fans informed on what's the latest and greatest rule change in the world of football. And I got a couple of questions that I want to ask you. But I guess first, let us get caught up to speed, sir.
Well, no problem. There are a few major changes that you'll see. I guess the first one is on the, what we call the Power 4 level. Now it used to be the Power 5. They're going to use coach-to-player communication, where they will be able to talk to the quarterback or the linebacker that's designated right in the helmet. So, you know, kind of like they do on Sundays. They're going to experiment with that, and the teams are allowed to do that. And basically, you'll be able to tell it by a little green dot that'll be on the back of the helmet. So that's going to be one of the most interesting things. But unfortunately, we won't have that in the SWAC because they're just doing it in the Power 5.
Well, my next question, before you go further, we know that everything trickles downward, right? And
right.
My question is, what is the estimated cost of this? And then number two, how will it be funded? And in projection of coverage for the Southwestern Athletic Conference.
Well, as we know in the Power 5, money is not a problem for them.
Right.
But, once they get it going pretty well and make sure that there are not a lot of wrinkles with it, I don't think it'll be an astronomical cost. We used this system in the Bayou about 3 years ago. And, you know, it was no cost to the teams at that time. They were just testing it out with the different helmets. And I think both teams had Rydell helmets, which made it easier for the marketer. And I would say the estimate the cost would probably be around $5,000 to $7,000 per season, I would guess. I would hope it wouldn't be more than that. You know, That's just a guess because I didn't have to get into it, you know.
I got you. Well, that's not
it would probably be in a couple of years. You know, or maybe as soon as next year if it's not economically out the picture, you know.
Okay. Well, like I said, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but while it was fresh on my noodle, I wanted to get that out. So, sir, continue on. I promise I won't jump in no more.
Oh, no problem. Anytime, Mike. You know a few rules, so you can jump in there. The next one is we're going to use tablets. And the tablets will be in-game video for the teams to use in their team area. And basically, it's the Microsoft tablets, and the coaches will get, say, the offense was on the field, and they will be able to take the team to the sideline and show them on the tablets what happened right or wrong in that series. So they will get in-house video of that game in real time. So the team, now we are going to do this, and all of the D1 schools are doing it, where we will have the tablets on the sideline, and each team can have up to 18 tablets. And they'll be able to show the players, and as a coach, watch on the tablets in live time. And the only thing about this is they can't take that tablet to the officials on the field and show it to them, because that's going to be an automatic 15-yard penalty.
Oh, wow.
But, it's for a learning tool to to help them and to make them better in game. Instead of waiting to see that play in the film room, they can see it on the field in live time.
Okay.
So I think it will be an asset to all other teams, definitely.
Well, as I say, as we advance, the technology increases, right?
Yes, it does. It does. So, and the next thing for our fans, we're going to have a 2-minute timeout. In the NFL, they call it the 2-minute warning. But we'll have a 2-minute timeout. As they do, we're just not calling it the same thing, which I don't see why, but, we're all used to a 2-minute warning. That's what it is.
Maybe it's an intellectual property thing.
Yeah, it might be like some copyright things going on.
There you go. There you go. That NFL is about that dollar, baby.
Yes, sir, all the time.
Okay.
So basically, what this will do at the end of the second and the fourth quarter, it was brought in, per se, for our TV networks, where it would have a natural break for them to do their last timeout.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically, if they still need a timeout in the second or the fourth quarter, it's going to be a TV timeout, and they will have their last break, and then we'll have 2 minutes of just pure action to finish the rest of the half.
Okay. Now I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because we got the ESPN Plus deal, we got the HBCU Go, and now the SWAC Digital Network, and in most cases, we knew about the TV timeouts. Now, will those TV timeouts be the same across the board, or is it going to be more predicated for the HBCU Go and for the ESPN Plus deal?
They have a different setup. It's close to the same. ESPN Plus normally runs 3-4-3-4. They run 3 commercials in the first, 4 in the second, 3 in the third, and 4 in the fourth quarter. HBCU Go runs 4 per quarter. And now the ESPN Digital or SWAC Digital is new to me, but I heard we was bringing in another system. And I'll have to get with them to see what they want. But evidently, they're going to probably be in a 3-4 format, I would hope, not a 4-4.
They're going to follow suit with the ESPN format is what you're saying.
I'm hoping they would. Or maybe they can give me a break and go 3-3. We'll see how it pans out.
Okay. Carry on, sir. Carry on. We're learning a lot today.
Oh, no problem. So, and basically within that 2-minute warning also, 2-minute timeout, that's when we're going to marry everything together now with the timing, which normally at 2 minutes, last year we went back to our old timing where we'll stop it on first down and the clock stops when he runs out of bounds. But also we're going to put into that the 10-second runoff can be after that 2-minute warning. It used to be we didn't have the 10-second runoff until 1 minute left. But now when we hit that 2-minute warning, that's going to kick in the possibility of a 10-second runoff also. So it just kind of put all of our time and things and the 10-second runoff and all of that stuff in one barrel, So I think it's going to help us as officials and help the game also, because that'll also be a natural time for a break to let the coaches know what they have left. And we'll do the same thing as far as says if the play is going on and the clock hits 2 and runs down, whatever is under 2, that's when we'll have that timeout and get that 2-minute timeout warning.
Okay. We're talking right now with Eddie Kelly, head official for the Southwestern Athletic Conference, bringing us up to speed of the new and improved rules of collegiate football, but more in particular that of our beloved Southwestern Athletic Conference. Are there any other updates that we need to be aware of, sir, before I go into my Q&A with you?
Well, it's a few more just little nuances, but I want to talk to you about one of the new rules. It's really not a new rule. It's just we kind of changed it up. and it's the horse collar tackle, which we're all familiar that you can't grab a player by the nameplate or inside the back of the shoulder pads and put him down, right?
Right.
So we had one exception to that rule, was the quarterback inside of the tackle box. And he's, because we get these defensive ends that are running around a tackle or whatever, and that's about all he could grab would be the back of it. And if he was in the tackle box, it was not a foul. Well, one of our coaches in the SWAC came to me and said, hey, they break my quarterback's leg, and he in the pocket. You go tell me that's not a foul, and I'm out of quarterback and with a broke leg. So I said, Coach, that makes a lot of sense. So I brought it to the committee, and it went to the safety committee, and they approved it that now a horse collar tackle is a horse collar tackle. So it takes away that opportunity to get away with it in the tackle box. So now anywhere at any time, if there's a horse collar tackle, it's going to be a foul. So
that changes the dynamics of the attack. Just go for the ball now, I guess.
Yeah, with a safety issue, it's not hard. And definitely, it is a safety issue because we don't want kids to get hurt on the field. We know it can still be a punishing, violent game at times, but if we can make it safer for all the kids, that makes it better. So,
well, what are they going to do about the chop blocking within a certain area?
Basically, last year's rule was that change where you can only have the cut blocks, basically what we call them, inside from tackle to tackle. Now, the chop block is a different block altogether. For it to be a foul, it's got to be a high-low combination, okay, where one person hits him high and the other one hits, above the waist and the other one is below the waist.
Okay.
That's one of the ones, even in the tackle box, if we get that one, that's a foul.
Even in the tackle box, whether they call it chop or cut, that's still pretty dangerous. And they got to look out for the big guys, too. I know the quarterback is the main attraction. But they got, I got to speak up for the big guys, Coach.
I understand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And that's pretty close to it. We got some other things that we're going to work on this year as far as with officiating, but those are the highlights of it.
So the kickoffs will stay the same.
The kickoff will stay the same for the NCAA. Yes.
Okay, very good. Now, here comes the question that I've always been curious about, and you can give me the proper terminology. That's why we have you. You're the guru. I'm just the talking head. But what they call spot fouls. Say, for example, a guy rushes for 20 yards, okay, and then sometimes they'll spot if it was a holding call. If the holding was at the 7-yard mark of his 20-yard run, they'll mark it at that spot, and then they'll count back from there, or then sometimes they go back to the original line of scrimmage and then mark it off. How do you determine how do you do what?
That's a great question, Mike. And basically, you hit it on the head. On that 20-yard run, let's say at the start of a series, he goes from the 25 and he runs to the 45. But at the 35, a wide receiver was holding. And the marker goes down at that 35, So that's where the penalty would be assessed from. Now, say if the penalty was at the 45 where he went down, we would go back to the 35 and he'd still get a first down. And if we're going to go back to the previous spot, let's say an offensive lineman was holding, we snap from the 25, say he's guilty of holding at the 23, then we're going to go back to the 25 and mark that out. So spot fouls and previous spots go into that. We call it the 3-and-1 principle. And if it happens beyond the line of scrimmage, we're going to go from that spot where it happened If it happened behind the line of scrimmage, we're going to go to the previous spot.
Okay, that sounds good. Now this one is probably, well, I know it's not your fault, but I have a pet peeve of it. But, sometimes you'll have 12 men on the field. Yeah. If you got a guy hightailing it to the sideline, you know he's not going to have anything to do with the play. Why do they make that call?
Great question. In the past, we used to basically give him a pass, okay? If he was one step to the sideline on that, we wouldn't call it, okay? But then when we changed the rules, the fact that if you had 12 in the formation, we would shut the play down, okay, and just give them the 5 yards. Well, we stopped shutting it down and we made it a live ball foul, because if a team could make a great play while you either getting that kid out or while you got them in formation, we didn't want to penalize the offense. So once we did that and made that change, we decided to take away that step to the sideline. So if he's still on the field when the ball is snapped, then we got to get him.
So, you got to get him.
Got to get him. So basically, coaches have to count better.
Well, they got to count better, and they got to get some guys that can run 240s to get off to the sideline. Right?
Hey, that's out of sight, too.
Okay, and another one that I got, what's the crime if you got 12 in a huddle, then they realize it's too many and one break off? Why is that a penalty?
Well, in the league, they're real big sticklers about it, And what we do is we just basically close to the same thing, but you can deceive the defense with that. And that's the name of the game all the time anyway, for the offense to deceive the defense. But you can't deceive them with numbers. So if you got more than 11 out on the field, say they might be thinking that you're going to have 2 tight ends, or you're going to have 1 tight end or no tight end. So when they're looking at the guys lining up, because most of ours are in formation because we don't huddle as much as they do in the league. So once they're in formation, it's hard for them DBs. When you got 4 or 5 DBs, but you got 7 backs to cover, it's kind of rough, So, and a lot of times it's just they're calling their personnel package and somebody's not listening, So you can have a lot of opportunity when you have too many out there.
I do understand. Well, they say inquiry minds like to know, and I be thinking of them. Most of the time it's after the fact we've had our conversation, and I'd be like, man, but I wanted to ask this, but I think I got all of mine out for this season at least, sir. And as always, it's a joy to catch up with you. The conference is growing. The officiating is being less spoken of, which is always a good thing. Even though if that favorite team gets the short end of the stick, they're gonna find a way to tag you guys. Their team was sputtering all game, and then one play to got a penalty call. It was you all's fault. You can't live that one down.
Well, we understand that as being part of the job, but hey, best games we have is when you don't know we're out there. So
absolutely,
we have to be there. But those are the best games when you don't know we're out there. So
yes, sir.
We're working very hard to try to be that way,
And we know you're guilty when you run off the field at the end of the game. Like you don't run off the field at the end of it.
We do that anyway.
Oh man. Yes, sir. Well, look, Brother Kelly, I want to give you some closing thoughts and comments, sir, as we can continue to wrap this segment up.
Well, I appreciate guys like yourself, Mike, who want to keep our fans involved, and we're working very hard to try to make sure that they are. Little things just like if we get a stop with replay, we want to inform the crowd as to why we're making that stoppage, it was a possible step out of bounds, it's a possible targeting, or a possible fumble, so that you're just not saying, why did we stop the game? We want to let you know also. So, we understand that it's entertainment business. You come to see the kids play, and we're on TV and all of that good stuff. So we know that we're part of that too, and we want to keep the game moving and keep it exciting and try to stay out of the way. Definitely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, look, you didn't mention your referee academy, man. You still doing it, huh?
Yeah, we have basically, I have 2 camps. The first camp is in May, the first weekend of May, and we have 180 participants in that come out, and we have another 80 to 90 NFL and college guys and supervisors that come out to work with them, and we have a lot of fun and work hard from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and do that. And then just the past week, we bring all of the guys that were in the SWAC in for Friday and a Saturday camp to get them ready for the season. So we stay busy. Not to mention, I go to a lot of camps to look for talent all around the world, I call it, but definitely in the United States. But we're fortunate enough that every year we can move up 10 to 12 officials to the higher levels, so we have to replace those guys. So it's a busy time, but it's a fun time too, Mike.
No doubt about it. Well, we definitely appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. As you know, you got a open door and the light always on here for you at the open mic. And, man, I just appreciate you and thank you for your time today.
Hey, but thank you, too, and let's have a great season.
Yes, sir. Go SWAC, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Eddie Kelly, head official of the Southwestern Athletic Conference football program, or let's say piece of the puzzle. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. Thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter X at The Mike Prince Show. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.